There was a huge commotion in Argentina because they made fun of Michelo on national television.
One day you're going to have to come back here, Michelo. No one will want you in Venezuela, and no one will want you here either.
Okay, let's give a bit of context. Cinco is an Argentine media outlet that is extremely Kirchnerist, that is ultra-leftist. It turns out that this outlet claimed that the Chavista regime, Nicolas Maduro's tyranny, deported 3 of its journalists. Just as you heard that those journalists were deported, expelled from Venezuela, and that their passports were taken away. In fact, here they tell us Venezuela did not allow 3 C5N journalists to enter the country and deported them. They even mention here, tension in Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro's government prohibited a C5N team from entering the country. Tension in Caracas, Nicolas Maduro deported the C5N news team. As you can see, this news has gone viral and is widely discussed. And since they're going directly after Nicolas Maduro, obviously Michelo couldn't stay silent. He had to come out and defend him. Pay attention.
Argentina. Look at how the trash from C5N lies to you. No, they say that Maduro deported the journalists from C5N and took their passports. That's what they say. Look, listen.
We're seeing that they have your passports in their hands, supposedly Venezuelan immigration personnel.
And the craziest thing is the footage they show you, those guys from C5N are such idiots. The footage is from Bolivia, from Bolivian immigration. Look, that's not the Venezuelan flag, it's the Bolivian flag. You can see it clearly. It says Naval, Bolivian Air Navigation and Airports. So it's not Venezuela. C5N, lie better, try harder. Damn it, why do they take you for a fool saying they're in Venezuela when the images they show are from Bolivia? If you look it up, the investors of C5N are the same as those of La Nación and Todo Noticias. That's called controlled dissent. They claim to support the people and oppose my law, but they're actually helpful to the system. Totally useful, right at this moment when the United States is looking to invade Venezuela. Oh, they show you. Oh, look how our journalists were detained in Bolivia. But we say it's Venezuela because it's a dictatorship and it's a message that favors the discourse of the United States. That's why I realized a long time ago. C5N is terrible. There's no people's media. We need media owned by the people, not by businessmen. You get me? Because C5N pretends to be for the people, but it's garbage. Turn off the television, go outside.
Look, that's true. C5N is a media outlet paid for by Kirchnerism. That's the reality, we have to say it. But be careful because Michelo is also sponsored by Nicolas Maduro. So this is a real fight between cripples. And another thing is true. The people at C5N show images of Bolivia when they're supposed to be talking about Venezuela. But please pay attention because this is very important. Tension in Caracas, Nicolas Maduro deported the C5N news team. Let's read a little part of the article. The journalists were detained for 2 hours when they arrived in Venezuela, and after their passports were taken, they were told that they were not allowed to enter the country. They are waiting to return to Argentina from Bolivia. Nicolas Maduro deported from Venezuela the C5N news team made up of those journalists. Okay, let's see. I don't know how this works in Venezuela, in Bolivia, in Argentina, but in some countries, when you are deported, they take your passports and escort you to a plane. As if that wasn't enough, the authorities of the country deporting you inform the authorities of the other country that you are coming and tell them about your situation. And in this case, the journalists were making a stopover in Bolivia. Well, most likely the Bolivian immigration authorities also held their passports and escorted them and took them to their plane bound for Argentina. And that's what they managed to record. Most likely that's what happened. This isn't something unusual. This isn't something strange. In fact, it's usually common in deportation processes.
This seems strange to me. Did you see that they're talking about Nicolas Maduro expelling the journalists from C5N? I wonder, are they all coordinated at the same time? All the media outlets started talking about this. 40,000 outlets and on the internet too. I mean, look, right? All of them coordinated at the same time. All those accounts, the libertarian ones, the right-wing ones, all talking about the same thing. What's up with that? So is this telepathic coordination or what? And the worst part is that they use images from the airport in Bolivia. Look, this one's from Bolivia. And the images say Maduro. Look, this is the flag of Bolivia.
Well, I already showed it in a video. Explain to me.
How is it that they're all coordinated to share images of the airport in Bolivia saying that's Venezuela? Big media outlets, all these trolls from X. What's going on? What's happening there?
Michelo, it's quite a case. I can't believe I have to come out and defend C5N, a Kirchnerist media outlet. How far have we come? It's incredible, but Michelo tops it all. He even went out to complain about how it's possible that the media are commenting on the news. Look, that's how the media works. The vast majority of them have a group of employees, a group of workers who unfortunately many times just copy and paste the news from other media outlets, all with the sole objective of publishing information as quickly as possible. Because we live in the age of immediacy. And what Michelo mentioned, how is it possible that all the media outlets were sharing and commenting on the news? Well, why not if it's a viral news story in Argentina? To the point that Michelo himself came out to comment on it. He came out to talk about it, but anyway, it turns out that the supposed journalists from C5N came out to respond. I'm going to have to put a giant watermark. You won't be able to see practically anything, just listen. So please stay alert.
Give it to me, idiot Michelo. You're dumber than pasta water. Of course we couldn't recall because Maduro's henchmen, the ones who watch your back because they protect you. And that's what the Venezuelan people say, that you go everywhere with bodyguards. We couldn't record because they took away their phones.
This makes a lot of sense. Seriously, they took their phones away in Venezuela. They probably returned them on the plane or upon landing in Bolivia. But they don't give them back their passports so they don't stay in Bolivia since they have to finish their journey to Argentina. That's how they do it. The deportation process is a hassle, but that's more or less how it works. That's why they managed to record the guy in Bolivia with the passports. That's the reason.
Michelo, you're such an idiot. Such an idiot. One day you're going to have to come back here, Michelo.
On top of that, neither your own people nor the others are going to want you.
No one is going to want you. They won't want you in Venezuela, and they won't want you here either, Michelo. Obviously, what you're seeing is from Bolivia, idiot. But it's because Maduro's henchman took his phone.
Of course, but you can't expect Michelo to understand that. Intelligence is pursuing him, but he's quicker. Watch out. It's crucial to clarify that those from C5N, they said from the start that they were waiting in Bolivia to return to Argentina and finish their deportation process.
Honestly, Michelo, how much is Maduro's regime paying you? Is it really worth it? Seriously, is it really worth it that much? I know that obviously what they're giving you is more than what you used to make on the street in those things, but you messed with the wrong person, Michelo.
Yeah, he really messed up.
Now we're going to straighten you out a little.
Well, after all that, Michelo responded crazier than ever. Stay tuned.
And they're upset. Look at how Real is going crazy because I showed the truth. Look.
Idiot, Michelo. You're dumber than pasta water. Of course we couldn't record because Maduro's henchmen, the ones who protect you, your ass, because they protect you.
Let's see. What would you know about the Venezuelan people? You haven't even come here.
With bodyguards everywhere.
Bodyguards. I record myself just like this walking through the streets of Venezuela. I have about 300 videos, Real. I'm not locked up in my studio getting money from governments like you.
Well, Michelo, at that very moment you were locked up getting money from Nicolas Maduro. Let's face it, that's the harsh reality. Watch out, the people from C5N were also getting money from Kirchnerism, but those are different things. Similar situations, but different. Let's put it that way. And about the bodyguards, Michelo, there was a woman who was put in jail because of you. I mean, you had a Venezuelan woman arrested just for questioning you in the street. Come on. It's just unbelievable.
We couldn't record because they took their phones away. Michelo, you're so dumb, so...
He's insulting me because he's hurt. The strength of his insult shows the weakness of his argument.
And now suddenly Michelo already thinks he's Francisco Neto. He already feels like a lawyer, God level.
If they took their cell phones, explain to me how they recorded in Bolivia. If they took their passports, why were they in Bolivia?
Oh my god, those are Michelo's arguments. It can't be possible because they give you your cell phones back on the plane. About the cell phone issue, they usually take them away when you're in custody at the airport from which you're being deported, and they give them back to you before you board. They usually give them back to you right at the boarding gate when you're about to get on the plane. But anyway, after this, Michelo reached such a level of craziness that he went out and said that this C5N is the Mossad. And that's why they want to go after Venezuela. Doubt me, watch closely.
C5N traveled to Israel. Ah, that's why he lies about Venezuela then, right? The so-called left-wing media
Doing propaganda for Netanyahu in Tel Aviv, right? Saying that the Palestinian kids are the bad ones and the good ones are the Mossad.
Now it all makes sense to me. C5N is with the Mossad, man. They can't be supporting Netanyahu just like Milei. Do you get it? Controlled opposition.
But anyway guys, my intelligence quotient definitely dropped drastically while making this video. Incredible but true. Ladies and gentlemen, see you next time.